Chapter 12. Trying to get back to normal.
Within less than a week of Mr. Larson's death, we missionaries were back on a full schedule, working in all 6 villages where we'd established the church. We were even starting to work in several new areas. On August 26, 1953, Elder Christensen recorded, "This evening we held MIA here in the village of La Kepa. It was their first MIA here. They surely did enjoy it. A very interesting and delightful day." Later on August 28, 1953, he recorded, "Poitolu, Elder Bailey, and I went over to Liku to spend the day. On arriving there, we went down to the sea, which is about 2 miles from the village, with a few of our brethren. We had a good time. Back in the village, we played a game of baseball and held a few boxing matches. They fixed us a very good Niue and Kai, including Moa, Kumara, Talo, and Takihi. This evening we held an MIA, which was very nice, but as usual, we had some stones thrown at the house where we were having our meeting." Elder Slade and Elder Bailey soon became accustomed with the practice of being targets of stone throwing and of being the object of the usual cursings by the other church. Fortunately, these incidents became less frequent than when we first arrived on Niue. Time out for a chore that had to be done. Since there were no sewer systems in Niue at the time, we had to rely upon the little house out behind the big house to accommodate Mother Nature. The time came when we needed to build a new privy. We missionaries named it George. Digging a hole in the solid Niuean rock was a task that took much effort and many hours of just plain sweat and hard labor. So difficult was the task that we thought we would try to find some dynamite to help it along. On September 15, 1953, Elder Christensen reported, "Spent the day here at home. Went all over the country trying to find some dynamite so we can blast a hole for George, our new outhouse." To my recollection, we weren't able to find the dynamite, so we had to go back to the old Armstrong method of doing it by hand. On September 18th, Elder Christensen recorded, "I worked all day long digging a hole for our lavatory. The ground is solid rock. I didn't get very much done, but I did wear 6 blisters on my right hand. Tender little Palagi." The project to build the new outhouse extended well beyond Elder Christensen's and my tenure as missionaries. Elder Slade inherited it. He wrote the following note in a letter to his parents some 10 months later in July 1954. "We are digging a new outhouse. We have to blast about every 2 feet. Solid coral, and it is hard. Last Tuesday I was using a 10-pound sledgehammer. Elder Harris was holding the drill we used to make dynamite holes. Elder Harris now has a broken hand. We realize it could have happened to any one of us, as it almost has several times because we all take turns. It was unfortunate for Elder Harris. We want to go down about 3 more feet, and then it will be finished. It has taken about 10 months to dig 9 or 10 feet. Slow process." The work continues with new momentum. We began having wonderful success again. Among the 4 of us, using our new members as helpers, we would hold up to 8 meetings a day on Sunday, teaching all the villages in which we had church groups. It was a joyous time for us. Yes, it was tiring, exhausting, and difficult, but the people were so receptive and eager to hear more of the wonderful gospel of Jesus Christ. Being buoyed up by the Spirit and our love for the people, we gave all we had to these dear, loving, wonderful, faithful Polynesians. I know they loved us and deeply appreciated our humble efforts. We held an even greater number of meetings during the week in the form of MIAs, which meant more contact with the people through sports and drama, storytelling and singing. We could feel the trust building and the lines of communication opening yet wider. We were so grateful to the Lord for His help and direction, and most of all, the opportunity to be able to serve. Special moments of joy. At many points in our time on Niue, each of us missionaries would suddenly be struck by the raw and awesome beauty of the island of Niue itself. Because of its firm, naturally rugged, isolated setting, It has an indescribable beauty all its own. In one of these moments of inspiration, Elder Slade, who was, in a way, speaking for all of us, wrote, "I was sitting here reading when all of a sudden I looked up and out over the sea. I thought to myself, this is, I believe, the most beautiful day I've ever seen on Niue. The ocean is of a most exquisite color of blue and calm and clear as a mirror. I looked up through the coconut palms out in front of our home at the beautiful clouds as they waft lazily over the island, drift out over the sea, and disappear beyond the horizon. And I thought, if the whole world were as peaceful and if the whole world had the gospel of Jesus Christ, what a wonderful world it would be. It wouldn't be a world, but a heaven. I felt so thankful to our Heavenly Father for the many wonderful blessings He has given me, too many to enumerate," in a letter to his parents from March 1954. Elder Slade was enjoying a very special moment of peace and of joy unspeakable when he wrote those wonderful words. Those same moments came to each of us often. They came from the Spirit to comfort us in those very difficult places during those very difficult times so far from home.